So yeah, this is my portfolio assignment. Holy crap, it's falling off. This is my portfolio assignment for English Composition 2, ENC 1102. It's falling. Some intro, right? So yeah. So stepping into this class in the beginning of the semester, I didn't expect to have fun at all, like at all. Like in my first English class at UCF, I didn't really enjoy that class because it was what an English class was supposed to be, like reading and writing constantly. I hated it. But this class was the same. It was the same, but for some reason, it was so much better. It was so much better. I guess those people there, the teacher, I don't know. Alright, so what I'm going to cover in this video, I'm going to choose 3 journals that I favored or did the best on. I'm going to talk about the writing assignments, the 4 writing assignments. I'm going to talk about peer reviews and that whole writing process. And I'm going to talk about my final project. I'm also going to talk about... I'm also going to talk about the reflection. So the first on the list that I'm going to talk about are the journals. Every once in a while we had a journal to complete, and each journal would tie in with a major writing assignment that was upcoming. So the 3 that I chose to talk about were the Brant Journal, the Malcolm X Journal, and the DeWitt Journal. In the Malcolm X Journal, we looked at how an inmate named Bimby really influenced his literacy acquisition. Like, he saw how Bimby could command an audience and hold his own in a conversation, and Malcolm X envied that. So he used his library at the prison and the materials in his cell and start reading more because he wanted to be able to be on that same level as Bimby. And the Brant Journal, now the Brant Journal was pretty important for my writing assignment. I didn't know, like the Brant Journal itself really explained the literacy acquisition aspect of the literacy narrative. I didn't know that it was going to help me tick off my literacy narrative assignment. Like, the more I was writing about the journal itself, the more I found that I was writing like the supporting paragraphs for my essay. I didn't know it. The DeWitt Journal, it didn't define genre, but it helped identify what it was. So, I mean, like in class, we looked at patient intake forms, and we looked at why certain questions were popping up, and how they were asking them, and like what was the importance of these questions and stuff. And it all tied into the genre of like genres arise out of recurring situations or problems. For the grades of each of these journals, for the Malcolm X Journal, I got a 85%. For the Brant Journal, I got a 95%, and the DeWitt Journal, the one I didn't like, I got an 89. Now the first one, the Malcolm X one, I think I got an 85 because I was nervous. I didn't know what the heck we were doing. But I started getting more comfortable along the way with the journals. Like it was gradually becoming better. I saw what was expected. The comments were helpful, and so it just really just started to progress. On to the major writing assignments! Yes, we had 4 of them this semester. The first one, well, they all seem to link up somehow, I should first say. But the first one was the literacy narrative. Now, the literacy narrative asked us to answer how we acquired our literacy. Looking back at it now, I didn't know how important my family, especially my brother, was to me becoming literate. Like, I don't know how he did it, but this sly dog taught me numerous stuff in such a playful manner, and he's so good at that. And I don't know how he did it. I still don't know. I'm not gonna ask him because he's probably gonna say something stupid. So I would learn new things from him because he didn't treat me like a little kid. He didn't treat me like some childish boy just wanting attention. He treated me like one of his other friends, and to this day I appreciate that because he spoke to me like in a real manner, and I learned so much from him. I didn't know that until I was doing the assignment. Oh, by the way, I don't agree with the grading, but I would say I got like 100 just because of how deep I got in that essay. The second writing assignment, the genre analysis, we picked our discourse community and we chose articles or picked articles and we compared how each article was. Like we would see like how they used ethos, pathos, logos, how they approach their audience. And in my essay, I talked about how the difference between mass media articles and scholarly articles within the medical field. And in the medical field, in mass media articles, they would dumb their information down. Of course, you're not going to speak to them like they know what's going on. They just give you the general gist of things. So, but amongst themselves, they would compare data. It was just peer to peer. So the expectations of understanding were different. Like looking at all the articles, I didn't see how much. I didn't understand how much. Like I understood, but I didn't really look at how much information goes into a scholarly article. Let me just say that right there. It was unnecessary. But yeah, it helped me look at what was expected within my discourse community. All right, the third major writing assignment. That was joyful. Not really, because the whole process was just so time-consuming to me. Like, first you had to find an argument that was most the most talked about in your discourse community, and then you would have to look up like 15 or more articles that supports your side of the argument. Or yeah, like it was just so it took too long. It just took too long, and I didn't like it. I don't like stuff that takes too long. It was helpful though. It was helpful though, because in my discourse community, for the medical community, I went into deeper of like of where I wanted to go. So I chose cardiology, and the most controversial topic in cardiology was the use of statins. Statins are like drugs that help prevent cardiac events. And so the statins were found to have like negative effects, like horrible effects, like cancer and like myopathy, like muscle dysfunction. So I picked all of these articles of articles that supported my side of saying don't use statins because statins are bad. But yeah, that whole assignment helped me like look at the topics being discussed in a field that I'm interested in going to. For that assignment, I got a 90 out of that one. Could have done better. I will do better because that's the one I'm going to revise. Said to that I should briefly explain what statin drugs do, so I'm going to do that. I mean, like how they work and stuff. And I'm not just going to generalize people as professionals. I got to specify what they are. Just got to fix some grammar stuff, and yeah, that's the one I plan on revising. So the fourth and final writing assignment that we did was the literature review / research proposal thing. And it piggybacked on the annotated bib, where in just the annotated bib you summarize the articles that were in the argument, but in the literature review, you analyze them, and you talk about how significant each word to the argument and how they like word, how you compared and contrasted each source, and so yeah, that was sort of fun, I mean, it was easier than the other ones. It was the easiest one, and I got a better grade on them. So yeah. Gosh, what was I gonna say? Aha! That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna talk about peer reviews. The next one, number 3 on the list. All right, peer reviews to me. Okay, let me just put this way. I don't like criticism. I never took it well. This is how I took criticism. Please don't judge me, and I won't judge you. So, based on me singing Chris Brown's "Please Don't Judge Me," you could see how I felt when I came to peer review days. But yeah, like, peer reviews were worse than... Oh! Clearly by that violent depiction, I just never took criticism. Okay, that video was unnecessary, but it just shows I never took it well. I never did. But this semester was different because, I don't know, I just respected the people in the class. So I value what they had to say. But I should also add, I rarely brought in, like, rough drafts, because most of the time I didn't have rough drafts, so I didn't have a lot of peer reviews, but I did peer review. But I did have some peer reviews because I would come to them verbally about stuff. I'd be like, so how would you come about this topic? Or how would you do this and that? And they'd give me suggestions. So I had verbal peer reviews instead of, like, instead of evidence showing that I had, like, peer reviews done. So I'm lacking in that department, but I still kicked butt with those peer reviews. I did take their information and I used it to my advantage. So, my research proposal. Now, the research proposal comes after your literature review. And in your literature review, at the end, you identify the gap. So, the missing research. Were statins really worth it as the missing gap? Like, nobody addressed it. Everybody was talking about the side effects and benefits, but nobody really said, hey, you should get off statins or something. So I came up with, not a solution, but like a little method of finding out if statins were worth it by taking like a group of people, separating them into groups. Now, these people who consist of these groups are like heart patients, like people who are eligible to receive statins. So you separate them to like 3 groups, maybe like 10 per group, and then you subject them to different treatments. So one group will be under statin treatment, the other will be like natural medicine, the other will be exercise and fitness. So, and then you let them go under those circumstances for a couple months, maybe like 9 months, hopefully a year, I don't know. And then you come back with the results, and whoever has the better results will prove to be the #1 solution for lowering blood pressure and preventing heart attacks and substituting statins, hopefully, if it's not statins. But if it's still statins, then I guess you just got to deal with the side effects. So yeah, that was my research proposal. Reflection, I look back on this course, right? This course has taught me a lot, though. I'm not lying. It helped me take a deeper look into the fields that I wanted to go into. I was no longer just like saying, hey, I want to be a cardiologist or I want to be a physician or something. I knew what was behind everything. But yes, I believe I deserve an A because I rocked it. I rocked this project. I rocked it better than... Yeah. So I deserve an A. Like 100. I mean, if I were to be honest, I'd say like a 99.99999. Okay? Like, I deserve an A.